So we need to start something on the controlling part. Okay.
Okay.
If we come to the MS Paint document, we'll understand some things first theoretically, then we'll go into the SAP system.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, our objective in FI was to generate a
Okay.
profit and loss and balance sheet.
Okay.
So this is something which gives us the overall picture of the organization, how the whole company is performing. If you want to know, you have to depend on the profit and loss account and the balance sheet. Okay.
Okay.
But the top management cannot take all the decisions only based on the profit and loss account and balance sheet. They need some
Okay.
additional information. So such additional
Okay.
information they will be generating it from the CO side, which is your controlling. And in general terminology, this is your costing or what we call as management accounting
Okay.
purposes.
Yeah.
This is something which is required for internal decision making. Based on the reports, the top management can take some kind of decision which is required for their internal purpose. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, FI, all our activities we have recorded for the company code.
Okay. Yeah.
CO, we have to create a controlling area.
Okay.
So we'll create a controlling area, and under this controlling area, we'll be creating one cost center standard hierarchy. So I'll just give the
Okay.
name. You can give the name of the company code also, but to have a slight difference between the company code, the controlling area, I'll give the hierarchy as the name of our company code GLST, and I'll say HIER. Now, why we have to
Okay. Yeah.
create this hierarchy is under this hierarchy, we can
Yeah.
create different cost centers, different departments can be created. Let's say if I want to create
Okay.
something like Department A, Department B, Department C, where I want to see how this department has been performing, or what is the expenditure
Yeah.
which we have incurred for this particular department. In such a case, we
Yes.
have to compulsorily go ahead with the creation of this hierarchy. Once we
Okay.
create
Yeah.
this hierarchy, this controlling area,
Okay.
we have to assign it to the company code.
Oh. Okay.
The reason why we have to assign it is the flow of transactions
Okay.
will always be from FI to CO. So we have to once again post the transaction in FI only. The only thing is for our
Okay.
internal requirement, the system will generate some reports which has to be posted from FI. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
We'll go ahead with the creation of the controlling area first. Okay. So
Yeah. Okay.
let me come back to SPRO, SAP reference,
Okay.
still processing. So we'll come to controlling,
Yeah.
general controlling, organization and maintain, controlling area.
Okay.
The transaction code here is OKKP. So double click on maintain controlling area.
Okay.
So pause it. So we are coming here. We'll go to new entries. If the controlling area, the name we'll give it as GLST. This will call us controlling area for GLST. The person responsible is not required. Now here we'll go with controlling area same as company code. Now the moment I specify this currency type, the currency, the chart of accounts, and the fiscal year variant will get displayed automatically. So I'll just click the drop down. So here we have 10, that is company code currency. It comes by default. So the moment I give
Yeah.
that,
So sorry, Venkat.
yeah, I think again your voice was breaking. Is the screen visible to you? Okay.
Venkat, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I'm able to hear you. I think you were disconnected in between.
Yeah, because I don't know why my net is going like that. It just keep on disconnecting and connecting back again.
Okay. Maybe today there's some problem. The other day it was not the case actually.
Yeah, it's keep on disconnect. I think it's my internet problem. I don't know why my net is keep on dropping and connecting back again.
Okay. I think this caller one is you only.
I don't know. I don't know.
Someone else is joining caller one. I don't know who's that. I think by chance did you re-log in?
No, it's just because the networks keep on disconnecting and connecting and just it just logged in again, I think. I'm not sure.
And I'll do one thing in that case. Let me just
Shall I leave?
dismiss this caller one
Yeah.
and see.
Okay, yeah.
So you're able to hear me now? Hello? Are you able to hear me? So now you're able to hear me?
Uh, Hello, Venkat.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Can you
able to
hear
hear you.
me?
Yeah, yeah, I'm able to hear you. Are you able to hear me now? Hello?
Um, Venkat, I can't hear you, Venkat. It's just disconnecting automatically.
Okay. Is it okay now? Are you able to hear me now? No?
Let me drop a message. I can't hear you, Venkat.
Okay, so we have defined a, we have given a name to our controlling area. There is the same name which we
Okay,
have
yeah.
given to our company code that we have specified, and there is a
Okay,
description.
yeah.
And here we selected controlling area same as company code, and the currency
Yeah.
type, this is already predefined. I'm just clicking the drop down, and the moment
Okay.
I double click on that, the currency, the chart of
Okay.
accounts, and the fiscal year variant will get displayed automatically. So let me
Oh,
just
okay.
double click
Yeah.
on that. You see there, all the three have come automatically. And here
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I'll give the hierarchy as underscore HIER. So you can give the name of the company code also, just to have some differentiation between the hierarchy and the controlling area. I have given that underscore HIER. Okay, save it.
Okay. Yeah.
So it says hierarchy does not exist. Do you want to create it? So we'll say yes.
Okay.
Go to our request.
Okay.
Now this controlling area, we will assign it to the company code. Double click on. Assignment of company codes, new
Okay.
entries. And here I'll give the company code, save it.
Okay.
So we go to activate components slash control indicators. Double click on that.
Mm.
Click new entries.
Okay.
Now, what are all the things which are required for us in the CO side that we are trying to activate here? The fiscal year, we go with the year 2018. We need cost centers. That's why we'll make the cost centers as component active. We need to record activities to the cost centers. That's why we'll make that.
Sorry, Venkat, your voice is breaking again. Sorry, Venkat, your voice is breaking again.
Okay. How is it now? Any change? Are you
I
able to
can
hear?
hear you, but it's not the continuous one. It's just breaking, and but I can hear you what you're saying, but it's keep on breaking.
Okay. I don't know what's the problem actually. Because things are okay from this side. I don't know exactly.
Yeah. In between, it just keep. There is a pause, and then I can hear you. There is a pause, and then I can hear you.
Okay. Must be some problem with the network only. Any change? How is it now? Still?
Yeah, yeah, still it's breaking, Venkat. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just log out and log in again. Let's see whether it works or not.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
So, right. So here we are making the, once we double click on this activate component slash control indicators, we'll come to this screen
Okay.
where we are giving the fiscal year as 2018 and we have made the cost centers as component active. Select this activity type, order management, we'll make it as
Okay.
component active and select this profit
Okay.
center activity. The three areas which we are selecting basically. Okay? So these are the three things
Okay.
which are
Yeah.
required for us in the controlling side. Save it.
Okay.
The
Okay.
moment I save it, it gives me a message. Just ignore it by pressing enter.
Okay.
That's the first activity where we created the controlling area.
Yeah. Mm.
Second thing what we are doing is we go with step 2. We put it here. This is define number ranges
Okay.
for CO documents, controlling documents. Now,
Mm.
first we have to compulsorily post an FI entry. From the FI entry, it will generate a CO document. For FI, we
Okay.
have already defined the number ranges. Now we are defining it for the CO documents. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm.
So let's come here. Maintain number ranges for controlling documents. KA and K is the transaction code.
Okay. Yeah.
Give the controlling area GLS
Okay.
and click change intervals. Sorry, not change intervals. You have to go to groups actually. When you're going to controlling, there's no need for you to come to change intervals. Directly you'll go to the groups.
Okay.
Click this groups. Now these are all the different requirements in the CO side. So what we have to do here is first we have to define a number range and whatever is required for us from the not assigned category, we have to transfer them to that particular number ranges. Okay.
Okay. Mm.
First we'll create a number range. So once you come to this
Okay.
screen, come to this group, insert. From the menu, select group, insert.
Okay.
This will call it as CO number ranges for GLST. And for CO, it's always better to have a slightly larger number range. Okay. I'll say from 1 to 10 lakhs. Press enter.
Okay.
Press tab.
Mm.
Save it.
Okay.
Press enter. Now from this not assigned, we are going to activate some of the items. Then we'll transfer them to the
Okay.
CO number ranges. Activating is
Okay.
just place the cursor on that and double click on it. So first I am activating
Okay.
COIN, that is CO through posting
Okay.
from FI, turns to blue color.
Okay.
Go down a little further,
Yeah. Hmm.
RKP1, this one. When that is
Okay.
activated, go down further,
Okay.
RKU1, RKU1 is enough. Okay. These three
Okay.
we have activated. So once we activate them, we'll go to the top, select this checkbox, and click
Okay.
assign element.
Okay.
So all
Hmm.
the three have come here. Okay. Select.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. The third activity what we are doing is, let me come here. This is maintain versions. Let me put it here.
Okay. Hmm.
Step number 3 is maintain versions. One of the main reasons why we are coming to the CO side is I would like to
Okay.
record the planned data. I would like to
Okay.
compare that with the actual data,
Okay.
and I want to see the variance and how much is
Hmm.
the difference between the actual data and the variance, because based on this variance
Okay.
the top management can take some kind of decision. Okay. So
Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
in the system there are already some predefined versions are there. There is one version 0 which will enable us to
Okay.
do all the three things. We can record the planned data, actual data, as well as we can see the variance. That version we are linking it to our controlling area here. Okay.
Okay. Hmm. Okay.
So different versions are there. We need version 0. So we'll select that and double click on settings for each fiscal year. Okay. Select version 0 and double click on settings for each fiscal year. Give the controlling area
Okay. Hmm.
GLST,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
press enter,
Okay.
and year 2018, select this integrated planning checkbox. Okay,
Okay. Hmm.
and save it. So it gives you a small message here. It is background processing. Click yes. Give
Okay.
that
Hmm.
output device as LP01. Press enter.
Okay.
So come to the screen. Click this execute button.
Hmm.
So the moment you click execute, it gives you this message and the status appears as finished. Now if it is appearing as finished, it's an indication that the controlling area is linked with version 0. Now we can plan our data also. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
So these three steps which we have done, these are the basic settings: controlling area creation, number ranges, and maintain versions. Okay. So let's come to the
Okay.
flash page.
Okay.
The today's session will have two videos. Okay.
Okay.
So here, the next activity what we are doing is we go to creation of cost elements. Now, what do I
Okay.
mean by a
Hmm.
cost element?
Okay.
Any kind of expense, once it is linked to the CO side, we call it as
Yeah.
a cost element. That means in
Okay.
order to
Hmm.
record a transaction from the controlling side, you have to compulsorily create it as a cost element.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
So these are divided into two types. One is known as a primary cost element.
Okay.
Now, what do I mean by primary cost element? To create a primary cost element from the FI side, you have to compulsorily create a GL account and then
Okay.
link to the CO side. First, you create a GL
Okay.
account and then link it to the CO side. So,
Okay.
without a GL account, you cannot create a primary cost element. You need compulsorily a GL account. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Second is we have a secondary cost element.
Okay.
Secondary cost element is created purely in the CO side.
Yeah.
No GL account is required.
Oh, okay.
No need for you to create any GL account. The purpose of this is
Okay.
cost distribution.
Yeah.
What is cost distribution? We'll talk about it as we go to the second important topic under the controlling side, that is the internal
Yeah.
orders. So as of now, we are into the creation of primary cost elements. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So to create a primary cost element, once again we have to go to OBC4. OBC4 is your field status variant. So we have to make
Okay.
some
Yeah.
changes in the field status groups. We first go to the field status
Okay.
variant, and in the group we'll make some changes.
Okay.
Cynthia, can you just keep yourself in mute? There is some sound which I'm getting in between. I don't know, due to the network, I think so. That is not from the normal room actually.
Oh, okay.
Wherever you are,
Are you able to?
no, actually, it's not from the room. Actually, some sound, some wind sort of thing. Ooh, that sound is coming. So if you can keep
Oh, okay.
yourself in mute, so that sound
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
not.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So wherever you have any questions, you can unmute and ask a question. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
So first, what I'm doing is I'm going to now it is fine actually. I'm going to OBC4, press enter. So we'll go to our field status GLST. Double click on field status groups. We have G004 that is exclusively for cost accounts. So double click on this. We're coming to the next screen. Double click on this additional account assignments, and here suppress rest all fields except for the cost center. Even business area is not required here. Everything I'm suppressing, only the cost center I'll make it as a required entry. Cost center is the department. To which department are we posting the transaction, that we need to specify. That's why we are making the cost center as a required entry and save it. Press enter. I'll come back here. We'll go ahead with creation of primary cost element. Now primary cost element is, once again we'll go to FS00, and from FS00 we'll create two primary cost elements. One we'll call as, let's say, a salary account. This we have already created, but purely for our CO purpose, we are creating another one. I cannot use the existing one. The reason is it's already recorded. There are some transactions which are already recorded. So major changes we cannot do. So we cannot link it to the CO side now. That's why I'm creating a new salary account. And second one, we'll go with travel expenses. Travel expenses account. This is also under the CO side. So let's create these two primary cost elements using FS00. So go from here /m FS00. So processing. So I'll activate our enter. Click the drop down. So under expenses, we have already used some numbers. 5,07,000 was the last account. We'll go with 5,08,000. So give the GL account number as 5,08,000. You create. Account group is expenses. It's a P&L account item. We'll name it as salary account, and in the bracket we'll give it as CO. I go to control data. line item, sort key 001, and create bank interest. The field status what we created or what we activated just now as G004, that we'll link it here, save it, and this will be linked to the controlling side. We'll click on this edit cost element button. The date will say from the beginning of the financial year, press enter, and here the cost element category. Just click the drop down and go with one. One is primary costs. So this is how we link it to the controlling side. Set it. We'll create a second one also. We'll do it manually. I'll say 5 lakh 9. Again, I'll click create button. Account group will be the same, expenses. This will call as travel expenses. In the bracket, we'll give it as CO, travel expenses account. I'll just copy it. We go to the control data, line item, sort key will be 001. Create bank interest will be once again G004. We will save it. Click this edit cost element button. The date is coming automatically, so we'll keep it as it is. Press enter. This is also a primary cost, so we'll click the drop down and give it as 1. 1 is primary costs and save it. Okay, 2 primary cost elements we have created. Next thing what we'll do is we go with creation of cost centers. Cost center is nothing but a department. So what we'll do is we'll create department A and department B. These 2 cost centers, we will give an indication that they are linked to the production side. We'll create 2 more cost centers, department C and department D. We'll link both these to the service sector. So what we are doing here is 2 departments we are linking to the production side and 2 departments we are linking it to the service sector, so that internally we can go ahead with understanding the process a little more easily. Okay. So let's go for this. Come to accounting, controlling, cost center accounting, go to master data, cost center, individual processing, and create. KS01 is the transaction code. So I'll give the name as department A. The date is coming automatically. Press enter. This will be department A. The same name I'll give it here. The name of the person, some name I'm giving. The cost center category, this is where we are going to specify that this is linked to the production cost center. We'll give that here. The hierarchy area and the currency. The profit center, we'll be activating it when we go to profit center accounting. Just save it. It gives you a message. Press enter. The message will go. The second cost center, we can use the reference option. Give it as B. And under reference, we'll give it as A here. Press enter. Department B. Again department B. Just give the name. Rest all things are the same. Save it. Press enter. This way I am going with 2 more cost centers. Department C. I'll change this to C. This also as C. Name of the person, I'll say Mr. C. And the cost center category, I'll give it as service cost center. That is 2. Save it. Press enter. So this way, I'll create one last department, that is department D. The center, this is D, again D. We'll say Mr. D, and once again we'll link it to the service cost center and set it. Press enter. Okay, so totally 4 cost centers we have created. Next thing what we are doing is, let me put it here. This is known as creation of cost center group. Cost center group. So what are we trying to do here is, we'll create 2 cost center groups. One we call as production. To this we will link department A and department B. And second one we'll create it as service. To this we'll link department C and department D. Now why we are doing this is, it becomes little easy for us to generate a report. Let us say I want to generate one common report for production cost centers. Then I can use that cost center group. And I want to generate one common report for service cost centers. Then it becomes little easy for me to generate the report. That's why we are going ahead with this particular activity. Okay? So let's come back. So I come to cost center group, create KSH1. We give the name as production, press enter, production cost centers for GLST. You click this insert cost center button. So we'll click the drop down and go with department A and department B. Save it. So whenever I'm going for any kind of report generation, I can just give this production. System will give me a report for both the cost centers. So this way, I'll come back. For the second, I'll give it as service. Press enter. So we'll give a name to this as service cost centers for GLST. And click this insert cost center. So here we'll link department C and department D. And department D. Set. Okay. Let me come back. Next thing what we'll do is, we'll go with posting from FI. The entry has to be recorded from FI. What we'll do is, we'll go for first salary payment. Salary posting, we'll do it for department A, one entry separately. In the same way, I'll go ahead with for department B also. So 2 entries separately we'll post. Then travel expenses, we'll post it to department C and separately for department D. So this way I have to post totally 4 entries now. 1 entry for every department. Salaries we'll post it to production cost centers, and travel expenses we'll post it to service cost centers. Again, it has to be done from FI only. Right? So I'm directly going to F-02. So I'm keeping the date constant. 40 will be the salaries. Salaries, the one which we created for controlling purpose. Press enter. The amount. Now here I need to specify the cost center. Click the drop down. Department A. This we'll call as salary payment. 50 will be the bank account. So the entry remains the same. The only thing is we have to check for a transaction from the CO side also. Press enter, star and plus. So I go to document, simulate, and save it. Still processing. So this way I'll go ahead with second transaction also, that is for department B, 5,08,000. Press enter. I go with some amount. This will be my department B salary payment. 50 will be the bank account. Press enter, star and plus, document, simulate, save it. So keeping the date constant, I'll post the travel expenses also for department C and D. So travel expenses, I'll go with 5,09,000. Enter. I go with some amount. This is my department C, and this I'll call it as travel expenses. 50 will be the bank account, star and plus, the document, simulate, and save it. And one last entry. This is for department D. 5,09,000. I go with some amount. Department B, travel expenses. 50 will be the bank account. The star and plus, document, simulate, and save it. Okay. Now for every transaction which is recorded from FI, the system will generate one corresponding CO document. So first let's look at the CO documents. So I come to cost center accounting, information system, reports for cost center accounting, come to line items, CO documents, actual costs. So this is generating the CO documents. So this is the FI document number. We don't know the CO document number, so we'll give a range from 1 to some 10,000 and click execute. So when you open this, these are all the CO documents. Now CO documents will not have a debit credit concept. It's the cost center, the cost element, and the amount. So you don't see any debit side and the credit side here. Now from here, if you want to see the FI document, place the cursor on the CO document number and click this source document. So this was a transaction which we have posted. Now the same thing, if you want, you can see in a different format also. You can come back and you can check from here. Cost centers, actual line items. So here it will look in a report format. So let us say I would like to see from department A to department D. So if I am using my cost centers, there is no need for me to use the cost center group. And here I'll go with the cost elements, 5 lakh to 5,09,000, and click execute. So for all the 4 cost centers, it is showing you what exactly is the total cost. For department A how much, for department B how much, C and D how much. Okay. Now why the system is able to generate these CO documents? The reason is, let me take you to the other screen. If you remember, let me take you to KAN. Just give me a second. Let me take you to KANK where we define the number ranges. So I'll go to our controlling area. So you're able to see that first one COIN, CO through posting from FI. What did we do actually? Whatever was there in the not assigned category, from there we have transferred that to the CO number ranges. Now because of this, the system is able to generate this CO document number ranges. So what we have seen here, in case of actual costs from 1 to let's say 10,000, these documents are generated because of that COIN. Without that COIN, the system will not generate these CO documents. That was the reason why we transferred that COIN from the not assigned to the assigned category. So, Cynthia, I hope things are fine. You're able to follow.
Yes, Venkat. Yes.
Okay. Right. Fine. So let's proceed further. Yeah, that sound is coming again.
Oh, is it okay? I'll go on mute again.
Okay, let's come back. Okay, let us say you would like to go with planning. I would like to plan cost center wise, and I want to see a report which gives me the comparison between the planned data and the actual data. So we'll come to cost center accounting, planning, cost and activity inputs, change, KP06, the transaction code. So we have seen that version 0, that is something which we have to compulsorily activate. That's why that version 0 will come by default. So I'll record it for the third period so that we can see the difference between the actual data and the planned data. So I'll give period number 3. I'll remove the cost center. I'll go with the cost center group. I'm going with production cost centers. And here for form based is nothing but the screen, how is it going to look. So form based will give us a more clear picture. So planning becomes little easy if you go for the form based. So select this form based and click overview screen button. So for this particular year, for this department, for salaries, what is a planned fixed cost? I'll go with some 8.5. Click this next combination button. Now this is for department B. How much is this? I'll say some 8.25. Set it. So this way I'll record it for the second also. We'll go with service. And this I'll make it as 5,09. Form based. And click this overview screen button. This is for planned fixed cost for department C. I'll say 4.5. Click next combination. This is for department D. 3.5. And we will save it. Okay, let us come back. First, the system will generate some planned documents. Go to information system. So if at all I want to see the planned documents, I can check from here. CO documents, CO planned documents, KAPP. So I'll give a range since we don't know the number. I'll say from 1 to some 1 lakh and click execute. So you see here, this is one document, this is another document. Now why the system is able to generate this planned data? The reason is what we did here. RKP1, planning of primary costs. Something which we have transferred from the not assigned category to the CO number ranges. Okay. Because of this, the system is able to generate this planned data. The same things we can see in a report format also. Come back, you can come from here. KSBP, cost centers, plan line items. So I'll go with production and I'll say 5 lakh each. The rest all things are coming automatically and click execute. This is only for production cost centers. Let's come back. I'll go with service also. And here I'll get 5 lakh 9 and click execute. This is for the service cost centers. Let's come back. Now the planned data will not have any value unless and until it is compared with the actual data. So compulsorily your plan and actual comparison has to be done. That's why we'll come to another report, plan actual comparison. We'll come here, cost centers, actual / plan / variance. So we'll go with period number 3. Again period number 3. So instead of looking at separately, we'll go from department A to department D. 5 lakh 8, 5 lakh 9. Both the cost elements we are looking at in one single report. And click execute. It gives for department A the actual cost, the planned cost, the variance, and the variance in terms of percentage. In the same way for department B, department C, as well as your department D. Okay, let's come back. So based on this report, the top management can take some kind of action. So if you come back here, there is one last activity which we have to do in cost centers, reposting of costs. Now, what do I mean by reposting of costs? Let us say reposting, I'll call it as. To department A, I have recorded salaries, an amount of 1.5. Now, after posting of the transaction, I came to know that an amount of rupees 25,000 is belonging to department C. Then what can we do? We can go with reposting. We can repost the transaction and transfer 25,000 to department C. So by mistake, if you have posted some transaction which is of a different cost center to this particular cost center, then using the reposting option, you can transfer that to the respective cost center. Okay, so how do we do this? We come to actual postings, manual reposting of costs, enter, KB 11 young. So this I'll call it as reposting of salaries, which is the old cost center. Let's say I have posted it to department A. The cost element, we are going ahead with salaries. So I'll take 5 lakh 8. How much amount are you transferring? I'll say 35,000. And which is the new cost center? So let's say I'm transferring it to department C. Save it. So let's see a report which gives us a detailed information about what has been transferred and how much amount is remaining. And coming back to the same report which we have seen earlier, cost centers, actual line items, KSB1. So I'll remove this. I'll do one thing. I'll go to multiple selection because I want to see the cost centers which are not in order. That's why I'm going with multiple selection. Click this copy, and here I'll take that 5,08,000 between these two. Just click execute. So here it gives you a detailed picture. 7.5 was originally posted, 35,000 was transferred. So in department A, how much remaining is 7.15, and 35,000 is going to department C. Finally, the amount is remaining the same. Now, why this reposting is taking place? Again, the reason is what we have done here, reposting of costs. Because of this, the system is able to generate this particular report. So this is something about cost center accounting. A small topic, but it has got a lot of importance in the real-time environment. Okay. So next thing what we have to do is the internal orders. So that will start in our tomorrow's session. Okay. So we'll stop it here for today.
Thank you, Venkat.
I hope things were clear now.
Yeah, it is fine. Yes, yeah, but still a lot of things to go. I will, when I get to practice, I will be okay.
Right, right. Okay. So I hope the trip and all was very good. Enjoyed.
Yes, yeah, it was lovely, Venkat. Yes, we came very late last night. It's a
Okay.
bit of tired, but it's okay. We had a very lovely weekend. It was a long drive.